John, I'm going to make a prediction, but on a little bit of a limb here. I am growing more and more confident as I sit here and listen to everybody, and I am talking to people that know their states as well as anybody. I think the finest numbers, people, finest sources. I don't think it will be very long until you call North Carolina for Donald Trump. I think Georgia will immediately follow thereafter.
We're here.
Then
we're live.
We would be at a point. I also believe Arizona
is something
baked
really
in.
quick that
Immigration
we're
is
just
a
going
big
to
issue
do.
out there.
Only going to do it
That
live
means
for
would bring
just a
us to
short
a
amount
point
of time.
in this race.
But
If I'm right,
we've
if I'm
been
wrong,
kind of monitoring what's going on.
Hannity was wrong. We'll have T-shirts. I'll sell them on
Series.
Okay.
So
but
we
if that's true,
don't want to get the ball rolling on here, but it's looking
based on the information
quite
that we
red
have
up
in
here.
the
As you
early
can
voting
see
success of the
blue dots
Republicans in
on my
both
screen.
Wisconsin and Pennsylvania,
Keeping up on
I
it.
don't think she can do it.
I got some news outlets
so
in the background just rotating
we're
out.
going to take a quick break.
For now,
The
it's kind of
race
just stuck
continues.
with
We're about to get our
Fox
first look at the
News
state
for the
of play
time
in the
being.
battleground
But
state of Nevada.
for our
Special
live,
coverage
this
continues
is how we're going to do
after
it.
this.
We're going to just show you issue 20. And we're going to get as much as you can done with issue 20 here. There's 4 stages. We're going to try to knock them all out for tonight. So let's keep it up and stay motivated for this. Hopefully you'll enjoy the background. But with this book, all we're going to do is kind of do what I do in the background when we do regular videos. I'm going to skim through real quick, see what we got to do. And once I do that, I start getting into the potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see any comments in here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see your comments in here. But we just might. For now, I'm not going to do this for too long. Because I think everybody's kind of tired with politics. But we're going to just mainly focus on this and let the politics just be in the background for this video for now, for this live. And then after that, we'll head out of here. But this is going to be a very short live, folks. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, we're going to be working on issue 20 of Build the Ghostbuster. And that's what we're going to do here. Alright, so I'm going to prop it up. We're going to start with stage 71. So I'm going to kind of go grab it and bring it to the workbench.
Guess what? Relaxing sleep.
Alright, here we go.
Some sleep with Relaxing and Sleep. Call right now.
Take Relaxing and Sleep. It'll work.
Alright, let's see.
Visit relaxingsleep.com or call 800-308-5307.
71. Oh, wait. There's 71. I just had it. There it is. I got it. Here we go.
This one is about how
So I got it.
Wow factor in your home.
So here we go. We're going to pull this right on. Alright, 71. This is pretty big. Alright. So we're going to just do that.
I mean,
Open it up real quick.
2 years and still so first
Alright.
anyone notices when they walk through the doors of our home.
It's kind of annoying. This is why I normally do it.
First
In
things
the
first,
background.
first things first is a bit of analysis, tremendous chemistry, and total ridiculous.
I don't know if you want to leave a comment, tell me if the audio is a little too loud or something. I hope it's not. So we're going to dump that here. If the audio background noise does get a little loud, and you can post a comment.
9:43 on the East Coast. Let's take you through some of these key states because nothing that has happened so far is shocking at this point. Most of it, we're watching Virginia and we're waiting for North Carolina. But some of this has laid out in a way that
like I
is
said, I'm just going to
not
start building up on
unpredictable.
this.
But let's look
issue
at
20
Pennsylvania for a moment here and see how Pennsylvania is shaping up at this hour. And you see you've got a 47 to 52 percentage, and I'm trying to see the percentage that is in right now in Pennsylvania, 32%, thank you. So we're waiting for a lot more vote to come in Pennsylvania, and what we're hearing is it's not surprising. The order that the vote has been coming in Pennsylvania is not surprising to the red team, at least at this point. There's Wisconsin, 47.9 to 50%, and Wisconsin has 23%. of the vote in.
Okay.
Also expected to be a tight race. They have both spent a ton of time there. There's Michigan, which we haven't really talked too much about yet. We're going to look, we're going to be able to show us on the board what Michigan looks like. 14%. A lot of votes still to come in Michigan. Obviously, this is too close to call, and that is 45 to 42. Let's go to Grady Trimble, who is Michigan. We'll start to get a feel for what's going on in this part of the blue wall. Hi, Grady.
Grab this.
Hey, Martha. Yeah, so we're expecting an update from Michigan's top elections official very shortly. But what we know from her updates throughout the day so far is that turnout on election day has been very strong here in the Wolverine state. And when combined with early voting, it's quite possible that it sets a new record, the previous record set in the last presidential election in 2020. And like most of the battleground states, this is going to be a story of rural turnout versus urban turnout. But there's an interesting storyline playing out in the Detroit suburbs, particularly in the Dearborn area, in the Arab American community. The Trump campaign has really been targeting that community, trying to get them to either vote for former President Trump, but they don't actually need that. In some cases, we've talked to Arab Americans who are casting their ballots for Green Party candidate Jill Stein, somebody you probably haven't heard mentioned much, but who could be a spoiler candidate. We also know that many Arab Americans are going to sit out this election entirely, which could tip the scales in favor of former President Trump. We're also watching the Senate race here. Mike Rogers, the Republican candidate, spoke to the crowd. He says it's going to be a nail biter and probably a very late night. Brett, Martha, back to you.
Okay, great.
Brady, thank you very much.
There's some Democrats saying North Carolina is on the edge. I don't think they're fully agreeing with Sean, and they still may make T-shirts. But
I thought it said North Carolina.
So we're
I'm saying
just
North
kind of going
Carolina
to
and Georgia
one
will
stage
go Donald Trump
71,
tonight.
first stage.
And I am as confident
And
in
I'm
that
just trying to make
prediction
sure I
as
get
any
the
of
right
them.
amount of BM
Wow.
screws.
Okay.
For
Bill,
what
I'm
we need to
tracking
do.
that. Are
Looks
we
like
backing
I'm
that
gonna
up on the
three.
wall?
I can see
I'm
that.
gonna grab
Just,
them.
Sean, if in the end you're right about
Dang,
that
this
here in
is-
North Carolina.
Now there's a reason why I do
this
this
county last
in
hour,
the
right? This is
background
Hampton
and
County.
not show you
Up to
guys
47% African
because
American
it's
population.
painstaking.
You know, sometimes in these elections
And
where you see an
it takes
outcome, you're
time.
like, that hasn't
We're only
happened in
going to be
100
doing
years.
this live feed
Well,
for a few
something just
minutes,
happened for the first
and
time
then
since 1876
I'll
in
go
North
back
Carolina.
and
And a Republican won this county
build a
for the
whole
second
video
time since the
from
1870s.
where we
So
started.
I just like something to
just
like
kinda
stick
do
in
a
the back of your head
synopsis.
and think about, well,
That
that was a
way,
data point
you guys
along the
still
way.
have some
You guys
continuity
mentioned the
here.
blue wall. Let's go ahead. We're moving
So-
toward the central time zone. We're talking about Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania.
So,
I can
let's
show
see.
you a lot of stuff right now, okay? But this is anecdotal stuff, just the data points that I'm seeing on the map. Okay, when you go to Wisconsin, all right, you have to look at Dane County, the University of Wisconsin. In the midterms, they had more than 85% voter turnout in one county. Okay, you're going to get a ton of Democratic votes out of here. Okay, you're just about halfway into it right now, and you see the margins. But I was poking through this and looking at Milwaukee. Now, there's a lot of votes out there. Okay, you only got 25% coming in right now. Kamala Harris has
Doesn't look
almost
like they're gonna
66%.
allow us to-
So this is where Joe Biden finished. Same county,
big
same
numbers
city
like
4 years
that. So-
ago. He was almost at 70%.
We'll do
Right
that.
now, she is underperforming
this
in
is what we're
Milwaukee.
gonna
So you have to ask
It's gonna
yourself,
start screwing
that
us,
little
and I'm just
pattern you
kinda
saw
hoping-
back there in that rural
I
county in
know
North
some of you
Carolina,
guys might not
is
be
it
able to
repeating
see
itself in some of these bigger cities?
maps of
No,
land.
is Detroit, right now Detroit, Wayne County's red. We don't expect it to stay that way, but that's one of the things you look at as well. This is Washtenaw County. That's Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. You expect to get a good number here. That's another county to watch as well. And then let's flip over here and just complete the blue wall. Because this is where we are right now in Pennsylvania. Remember we showed you how the mail vote, heavily Democratic, is put out
Okay,
first.
so they're showing
We still think we're
Pittsburgh is
probably seeing a lot of that
solid
right now
blue.
in this composition. But let's go ahead and look now.
Philadelphia,
Let's look at the vote
Harrisburg, it
difference in
looks.
Pennsylvania. And what we've done here
Well,
is we've gone back to the year 2000,
that's
okay?
still
So you have
holding
6
positive.
presidential
then
races to look
Pennsylvania will
at.
actually go to her.
For so long, this was not even a battleground. It was heavily Democratic. When you think about what Barack
gonna
Obama
be-
did in 2008, look at that. I mean, that's 10 points. It's off the map. Romney was able to cut it in half, and so the state came back a little bit toward the Republican Party. It really wasn't until 2016 when Donald Trump won the state by just less than a point. Let's look at the vote difference now for Michigan. very similar, maybe not as extended, okay? Some would argue more Democratic in Michigan, all right? But that was the difference in 2016 for Trump, 0.2 percentage points, you know, and you see where Obama was. That was not contested. Look at the vote difference now in Wisconsin. Very similar. Blue, but not nearly as extreme. In fact, if you take out the Obama years in 08, 2012, you find Wisconsin is, I find, guys, this to be the swingiest state you find out there, all right? Back in 2000, when we're looking at Florida, look what happened in Wisconsin. 4 years later, John Kerry, look what happened. You see Donald Trump in 2016, it's just by a nose he was able to win. And then when it went back to Biden in 2020 again, it was super tight, okay? All those races, 4 out of 6 over the past 20 years have been decided by less than a point. And it might well be the case again tonight. In the land of cheeseheads.
If you don't want to watch the whole thing, we will have a full video. Show you everything that I did during this live, and then it'll show you
how this is shaping up.
Start from. But
I mentioned Dane a moment ago, and I also mentioned.
I'm going to tell you, this is
Sean Duffy.
This is our first live here on the channel, so we're just going to
when he ran for Congress, all this area here was blue. Okay. And when he went to Washington, it all flipped, it all became red, and it stayed that way.
We're gonna do
it's been a source of political strength and power for Donald Trump, and we'll see whether or not that remains the case right now. All right. So, you know, we're just about the 30% mark in Wisconsin, and Kamala Harris has a slight lead there by about 3 points. This is where it ends, as I showed you up there on the map.
That works.
Right?
So I got one part done.
82. I'm just going to work on the next one. So if I were to come to 2024, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Dane.
How about Sauk and Kenosha?
Yeah, Sauk is right here. Sauk is pretty interesting here because you know you start to see a little more population growth, and Trump has a lead here. And again, this is Kennedy. He popped up in Michigan. He's going to pop up in Wisconsin all night long. Trump has a lead here. Let's just go ahead and see. Get half of the vote in here in Wisconsin. This is where it finished.
I kind of hope he gets Wisconsin.
I find that interesting.
What about Kenosha?
It's okay.
Let's find Kenosha down.
Remember, this is the swinging state. I mean, I spent some time there on 2 recall elections with Governor Scott Walker.
I mean, it's extraordinary. And we don't think about it that way. But it's true. Anyway, this is Kenosha, Brett. Yeah, fast forward. You got it. You got about half the vote in. Trump's just shy of 58%.
Yeah, like I say, we're just basically on issue 20 here. Stage 71, step 1. I'm about to start working on another piece here, which is a very bulky piece. It
so
seems.
the Wow counties here,
I
they've
think it all
been
just kind of
solid
goes in
Republican
each
forever.
other, but
You know, but
seems like
not
we're
during
just
the Trump
gonna
years.
connect
They
it
got
in,
softer and softer, and they
and
are.
then once we do all
Wisconsin
that,
here, just west of Milwaukee, is one of them. I'm sorry, Waukesha, excuse me. And then you get into Washington, and then you get into over the lake is what's out here. So let's see what we're doing right now. Trump at 53 and a half. All right, comparison point 2020.
Okay, this is it.
Okay, so a little bit under right now in that it's suburban county north of Milwaukee. Let's pop on over here to Washington and see what we're doing. 70% is an impressive percentage. Right? From 4 years ago, what did he do? So a little bit better right there in Washington County. Then we'll move over here. This is the most populated of the 3. Waukesha, just west of Milwaukee, just shy of 60%. Raw vote shy of 40,000 from 4 years ago. Okay, all right. So he ended up with 55,000 net. So he either has some space to make up, or he's not going to get to the number from 4 years ago. So that's something to watch. The Wow counties there in Milwaukee. My favorite county in all of Wisconsin. Maybe my favorite county in the entire map this year, right here. You know what this is, Brett and Martha? County. It's Door County, okay? And why do we talk about Door County? First of all, you don't want to be there in the winter, okay? Because it's cold and it's frozen. But the summertime, it's got to be beautiful. Half the vote in. Trump has an edge here. 4 years ago, you see what happened here. Biden won it, all right? Go back to 2024. Let's go statewide. Watch all the map go into play here, okay? This is a flipper county in Wisconsin, all right? The shade of blue is just very slight, okay? So it shows you how close it was. So we'll keep an eye on it because sometimes those are the bellwethers statewide, and we'll see whether that develops down Wisconsin.
All right.
Thank you, Bill.
little Wisconsin for you.
Whole trip to Wisconsin.
Yeah, sure.
Up to Door County, in the
Okay.
Great Lakes, and obviously this is going to
So
be
it's
an
gonna
area
kinda
that is going to probably tell the story of
drive
this
right
election
there,
back in
man.
the Sun Belt
Okay.
before. So we're getting close to
So,
10 o'clock,
all right,
right
now
around
that
the
that's
corner.
figured
That
out,
is when we will get full
we got
closings
this
in
piece.
Utah, Montana, and
This
Nevada.
is
This is
QM.
our special coverage kicks into high gear, and the
I gotta find
electoral
a
count
QM screw.
continues to load in. 195 for Trump, 117 for Vice President Harris.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we might just do stage
A few
71
months ago,
as
you
a
asked me,
live feed.
does that
Only
relaxing really
because
work? Sleep for me, it's just been kind of a
this
concept
is
I've heard people
this
talk
is
about.
not really
I took it
going
to work,
according
tried it.
to
Guess
what
what?
we
Relaxing sleep.
originally
Get some sleep
planned
with
for
relaxing
this.
sleep. Call right now.
Take
I
relaxing
was kind of hoping.
It'll work. I promise you it'll work.
Well,
Visit
Kinda hoping.
relaxingsleep.com or call 800
a
308
little
5307.
bit different.
For holiday traditions, old and new. When you want gifts to express a lifetime of love, we've spent a lifetime crafting them. Harry and David.
Yeah.
Look for us at select Macy's locations.
Okay, so in the future, guys, I don't think we're gonna
I've
do a
been telling
live.
everybody about it because
But I do have a live coming in the near future, and it's only
I
for
go into a lot of
it's a
things
little
thinking
simple
it's not gonna work,
project
and I thought basically
that I think
the same thing, but it wasn't.
a lot
People are like, what are
easier.
you doing? Because my skin looks completely different than it did. I feel like people can see me
A lot
for
more
me
easier
because of how
to
confident I am.
perform.
Find the real you again. Go to newsly.com/TV.
So I don't know how this is. It tells me that this is. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Sunday.
Oh, they gotta line up.
Two dudes.
The arrows have to line up. Oh my goodness. It's done.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna bother you guys so you can go funnel wings in your butt.
Finally, we have a safe space for our marginalized community.
Universal Basic Guys. All new Sundays on Fox.
Fox Nation would like to thank all active military and veterans by offering their first year of Fox Nation free. Stream exclusive shows that celebrate our country.
All right.
This is the story of the greatest American before there was an American.
Hear real stories from real heroes,
Okay.
highlighting those who put their
So
lives
that's
on
how
the
that
line
goes.
for our freedom.
This
That's
is their Top Gun school. 1 or 2 seconds.
that's matching.
Sometimes
And we get this
Go
piece.
to foxnation.com.
I said if you're just tuning in, we're just doing issue 20, stage 71, step 1. And what we're gonna do is just gonna show you guys step 1 all the way through to the end of stage 71, and then we got the election going on in the background. That's what we're doing here.
Election
Monitoring
night
now
unfolding before our eyes. We've got
to see how everything goes and unfolds for history.
board on the school
So if you
card.
hear that in the background or you see it up here on the screen,
Count stands at former President Trump at
so far I've
195.
managed to get this
to
done.
Vice President
What a
Harris
pain
at
in the neck this was.
117.
We're still waiting,
Alright,
obviously,
this was
for Georgia to
serious
fill in
pain in
and
the
North
butt.
Carolina to fill in. But there's a lot of
But we're
discussion
still
about
working
that
on step
outstanding
1.
vote
So
and
apparently
whether or
now
not
these
it
two
will meet the level
have to line
that
up.
Vice President
As long
Harris
as you
would have
got the
to meet.
arrows
And
that are
right,
on
we've been
there
talking about Philadelphia
lined up,
County.
and
She
these
would have
will
to
line up
clear
just the way they're supposed
700,000
to.
votes in order to.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
now
So let's go to
I
Jeff
have to
Paul
get
from the
another
headquarters of
QM screw.
Republican Senate
Put it
candidate
in.
Sam
I might
Brown.
not do
And what's
this
going on there?
one yet. I don't know.
Hi, Jeff.
We'll be there in a little bit, right when it starts. But right now, we are outside
Kinda-
maybe one of the biggest and most
Kind of a
expensive
big
polling
night in the
centers
United
in the
States.
country.
If
This is
you're
the Legion
outside
Stadium,
the
home of the
United
Las
States,
Vegas
you look
Raiders.
at this.
And one of the things I want to mention to
It's
you
an
folks
election
at home
night,
is
so
that
there's a
people
lot
are
of
still
polling
showing up
going
here to
on.
cast
There's
their
a
ballot.
lot
We
of
are a minute
tallies
away from
coming
polls
out,
closing, roughly a minute away from polls
showing
closing.
everything,
And under
how
Nevada
everything
law,
comes out.
if you are in
So-
line by 7 o'clock, you have the right to
Yeah.
vote. And we are hearing about some
So we're
instances
just kind
where
of,
there are
you know,
some pretty
seeing the
long
results as
lines
they came
throughout the
out.
state. Also, keep in mind that they will not release
kinda
any
like my
results
first
anywhere in
time
the state
doing
of
it
Nevada until the
on a live
last person
feed and
in the
having it in
state
the
votes. So
background. So we're just
we
gonna
could be
see
looking
how
at
it
a
all
very long night ahead
pans
of us
out
here
at this
in the
point.
state of Nevada. Martha?
All right, Jeff Paul, thank you so much. We're waiting now for these calls at at 10 o'clock, and we're looking at basically a scenario where the Democrats are putting all their hope in the blue wall. The question is, what happens when we make a call in North Carolina and Georgia? If you believe Sean Hannity, it's coming soon. We'll see if it does. It is time to see how many more electoral votes will fall as we get ready for our next calls.
18 minutes.
We are seconds away from 3 states, including Montana, Utah, plus the critical battleground.
Together we will fight to win Nevada.
With 16 electoral votes on the line, we have the results as they come in. The moment is here. America is watching.
Going very quickly, it is now 10 p.m. here in New York. 3 more states in the West have just finished voting. Fox News Decision Desk, too early to call. The state of Nevada, one of the most competitive states in play. Hispanic and working class voters obviously could be key to the victory there. Both of these candidates have spent a lot of time in Nevada.
Fox News can project that former President Trump will win the state of Utah, adding another 6 votes, electoral votes to his column. He'll also win Montana's presidential election. We're looking closely at that Senate race out there.
Ad-lib. Oh.
Yes, you will.
Let's do that. All right, so let's take a look at some of the places that are too early to call, and let's get you an update on the total count. President Trump at 205 right now, 117 for Harris, and waiting on Georgia, waiting on North Carolina, waiting on Pennsylvania, waiting on Michigan, and just keep in mind that in all these places there's a lot of city vote, a lot of high population concentrated vote that has not come in yet. The question is whether or not that vote, when it does come in, will be enough to outbalance what we have seen in the early part of this vote here.
Montana, as we mentioned, also home to this pivotal Senate race. Longtime rural Democratic Senator John Tester in the political fight of his life. This time, he survived it before, but this time Republican former Navy SEAL Tim Sheehy putting up a real fight and may win.
Holy crap, Donald Trump's at 205 right now.
Nevada also home to this Senate race between
117.
Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen and Republican Army veteran
I don't even think that they predicted.
In Utah, Fox News is projecting the Republican Congressman John Curtis
I don't think they predicted that he would win
He
Utah.
succeeds retiring Senator Mitt Romney of Utah.
During the Trump
Let's take a look at the
campaign,
balance of power as we pull up the Senate here and show you where we are at 10:01 in the evening. Republicans now have 48 seats, including the West Virginia seat, which is a flip. Majority obviously would be 51. 38 seats on the Democratic side as we wait for a number of very consequential Senate races to come in here this evening.
Well, welcome to the panel, Laura Ingraham. Sean Hannity is still here. Jesse Waters. Jesse, what do you think?
Well, if this was a cannonball contest, Trump would be winning by a lot because of the huge splash in Florida.
Spring
He
here,
beat Biden
guys.
by 3, and now he's at almost 14 over Harris. That's a big statement right out of the gate.
We might not
She has
even make it
had
to
a
the
big
end of
statement
71.
so far tonight.
Holy,
The other big
guys.
splash, Virginia. Now, we don't know how
I got a
Virginia's going to shake
oh
out.
my goodness.
But
All
Biden
right.
won
Look,
Virginia
we're
by
just going to
10.
go as far as we
And
can.
now it's tied.
with this.
Obviously, it's too
And,
close to
I'm
call,
having
but
too much
right now
trouble.
she's playing defense. The Trump
Like
team
that,
is very confident that Georgia and North Carolina are going
doesn't
to go
tell
their
you
way.
exactly
And
how
Harris
to
is
put it
going
in here,
to have to
but
play defense in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. You're hearing Trump doubling his black support in Wisconsin, ahead with young voters in Michigan, and in Pennsylvania winning independents. And they say the math doesn't work in Philadelphia County. So who knows what's going to happen? Still too early to call, but you definitely think the Trump team has momentum here.
Laura, Virginia, you were talking about earlier. We'll put up the big board about Virginia and show that race. There you see the 50% to 48.3, 61% in. Too soon to call for us.
Well, this is wild. Remember, Trump didn't come anywhere near these numbers in 2016 or 2020. The Loudoun County numbers that we were talking about earlier are really something to watch. Trump is outperforming by 8 points in Loudoun County. It was a blowout in 2020. Big issue with education there. The other thing to look at, and Glenn Youngkin, I've been in touch with him, he said, buckle up, Virginia's going to be very tight. Then go down to Miami-Dade, where we haven't seen a Republican take that county in Florida since 1988. Donald Trump is doing something tonight. The New York Times is noticing he's up at 287 electoral votes projected. Obviously, anything can happen. with a 72% chance of winning.
New York
Watch
Times
out
saying
for
that he's that
slowing
high.
vote reporting down in the blue wall states. It happened last time in 2020. And if by midnight it looks like Trump has a good chance to win and things start slowing down with reporting, I think you can't really blame people for being a little bit concerned about the way we do reporting in elections.
Yeah.
I have more of a question actually for Laura, if that's okay, if it's permitted. On Loudoun
Yes,
County,
yes.
in Loudoun County, can you talk to what is the issue? Is it the economy or is it the cultural issues?
Yeah.
We've been having a little debate.
I think that the cultural issues cut through the new immigrant population in Loudoun County. There's an enormous influx of Indian immigrants, Hispanic immigrants, and Muslim immigrants in Loudoun County. And if you talk to them, and some reporting's been done on this, a couple of issues of the gender curriculum, some of the trans issues, but also in general, just this idea that the new immigrants coming to this country want to be able to start small businesses and make a decent living.
And you
I
might,
think both issues are really hitting hard tonight.
and Loudoun County is the kind of place where you think it might be fertile ground
It
for
says
Democrats almost
that
in
you gotta-
perpetuity because of where it is. It's in the
Well,
it's,
boy,
it's in
man.
the exurbs.
Only like
of
25
Washington,
minutes
but
in,
it's
and I
very
don't want
close
to
to
do a
that
30
huge number of
skip.
people who work in the technology corridor, and you would that looks like the kind of play young, tech savvy people who would be prone generally to vote Democrat. And the fact that it's seems to be going the way it is tonight is I think
A lot of
quite
credit to
telling.
Glenn Youngkin and obviously Donald Trump for the way that
Yeah.
state was handled. They were smart to go there late in the game.
It's interesting to look at Virginia, and sometimes these things sort of take hold over a period of time, right? So Glenn Youngkin won his
Okay.
very close
All
race,
right.
all about education, really, against Terry McAuliffe
There
on
we
parents'
go.
rights. But then in the midterms, Virginia did not get the seats that they wanted to get, and Youngkin was sort of trying to get them
All right,
over
let's
that
move to the next
edge.
page
So if
because something
this
tells me
does, and then we're, can't
needs
call
to
it obviously
be-
yet, if it turns into a win for Trump tonight, it will be a very big
Or even
sign.
close,
for
even
what
close,
it's
Martha.
And we have not called North Carolina,
We have not called it yet,
but
nor Georgia.
I'm sure there are good reasons for that, but others have.
I understand. Harold,
Do we know what's outstanding
let's
in
just
Virginia?
talk to Bill Hemmer because he's at the wall.
Yeah, I
Nope.
can do that.
Who's at the wall? Let's see.
Don't mind me. This is Roanoke County. Why do I have that on the screen? That's Salem, Virginia. That's where Trump went for the rally the other day with Glenn Youngkin. Okay, so as you guys were talking here, all right. So this is part of our Fox Insights. Anytime we see an outline here, we go in
Oh.
Loudoun County. We've mentioned this, right? Now this is a 16-point advantage for Kamala Harris. You've almost got all the estimated vote in right now, and Trump's
Okay.
doing 3.4
All right.
points better now, with 98% of the vote reporting than he did in 2020. So that's pretty interesting. The other thing I would point out while I'm here is Fairfax County. All right, so you're almost at 2/3 of the vote in. This is where all the people are, right? Number one out of 133. Biden was an easy winner at 70% of the vote. So right now, across from Washington, D.C., she's underperforming in the most populated county in the entire state. Did you have something else there?
Yeah, question.
Gotcha. Okay, Carolina. Go ahead, guys.
So for the Virginia, is that the biggest county? The Fairfax County
Oh,
is
yeah.
another big county out because the campaigns are saying they've got big votes still out in Virginia. They still believe that they.
I tell you what I'll do, Harold. I'll cheat for a second here. Go back to Virginia.
Right.
It
What is
seems
going
as if
on? I
Kamala
gotta do
Harris
this
is
test
doing
real
better
quick.
in the southeastern part of than was expected.
Working
Okay,
my,
so there's still some vote out there, some still vote coming in, and we'll see whether or not that holds up. Let me zip on down to Carolina. And Britt, I think you said some folks had called Carolina already. We got about 70% of the vote in, and we got Trump up, yeah, almost 185,000 raw votes.
Okay.
And
So,
I don't know what's going on here. Why don't we just poke
let's
around
say
some
we're
of the
still
bigger
on
counties?
stage
Okay, this is Wake,
71.
this is
We got
you got to look there.
step
3/4
two
of
to
the
do,
vote
but
in.
I'm just doing a quick
She's got a
test.
firm
and I
lead
have
down
my
here in
standstill
Mecklenburg and
here.
Charlotte. A firm lead yet again, but there's 80% of the estimated
why
votes
I
still yet to
did,
be tallied.
but-
So maybe that's the reason why we cannot call it. This is a flipper down here.
Yeah,
This is
listen
New
in the
Hanover.
background. We're
You
just
find
doing
Wilmington along the Atlantic shore. You've only got 5% of the vote in down there. This is one of those areas of
What
the
is
country that's
going
turning
on?
more blue. You got a lot of transplants from the Northeast moving down into Wilmington. You also got a lot of folks from the Northeast going into places like Brunswick County. Brunswick County is deep in the red. Donald Trump's going to win here tonight by 66% upwards of the vote down there. And a lot of folks from New Jersey and New York and Pennsylvania, they're moving down to places like Brunswick County because they love the weather, they love the beaches, and it's not as expensive as Florida, and they've seen an awful lot of growth in this part of the state. So here's where we are. Too soon to call, but Donald Trump right now up by almost 5 points in Carolina. Go for it, Martha.
Let's take a look at Pennsylvania, which is tightening up considerably, and in the presidential race and in the Senate race. Show us what's going on there.
You're exactly right about that. Okay, so there's about half of the vote being counted. You remember that chart I showed you a moment ago? The chart I showed you a moment ago, they count the mail-in vote first in Pennsylvania. It tends to be more Democratic. As we saw in 2020, we're seeing that again in 2024. All right, you got about a 1.4 margin there. Raw vote just shy of 50,000. So let's go for a spin, shall we?
Hood. I'm going to bring that back.
Let's start there.
Here's the hood.
Number one.
I still haven't put on the different hood cover. But
this is the kind of margin you
I
expect
think I will be pretty soon. I'm going to get a hold of my brain.
8 out of 10 voters
So we're going to see
right?
what he says.
So Joe
But
Biden
for now, this is the hood.
was well over 80%.
Blemishes on it for some reason.
It's interesting. Right? So
Stick it upside down.
Right now. Does
And I have to take
Philadelphia
this
vote the way
big,
that Milwaukee
very
votes?
plasticky
Right? We
piece.
saw that difference in Milwaukee a short time ago.
Okay.
Does
You gotta
Philadelphia
line it
gonna
up.
vote differently than Wayne County and
It
Detroit?
lines
You
up
know, we're
really
looking at that
nice.
As well.
Okay.
These are the collar counties. They're
And
heavily
then
blue.
it tells me I
I'm
got to use
expecting
some
to change
SM
somewhat. We'll see
screws.
as we go through the night.
Okay.
Just to
And
check
just
the
the SM
bellwether here.
screws.
This is Northampton.
And
That's about as close as you get, guys.
Go ahead and
Difference
put
of
that in.
300 votes, 303.
Okay.
Biden barely won it by 1,200 just 4 years ago. So that's
Okay.
where we are at the moment.
What about
So,
Pittsburgh?
You, Allegheny
see what I
County.
can
Let's
do
see where we
here.
are. A lot of the
Really
vote
doing
came in from
those,
Pittsburgh
so-
early on.
71,
Okay, yeah. So you're 71 coming. That's
go.
right. And
So
she's
we're
at
gonna put one
61%.
here.
I mean, both you guys watch it, right? I mean, how many rallies did Trump have there? How many times did Kamala Harris go to the west side of Pennsylvania? This is a place I want to check out. I haven't done it yet. Let's find out together.
Okay.
This is Butler County.
Doesn't.
All right, where were you on July 13th? Here we go. You got 94% coming in, just shy of 66%. So how did Trump do in a rural county like Butler 4 years ago, before the assassination attempt, right? This past year, it was almost around the same number, okay? Up 36,000 to finish it 4 years ago. Right now, he's up 34,000 in Butler, PA.
Let me bring our prime
Yes.
folks in. Laura, what are you looking at?
Well, I just think it's interesting to look at these states that we kind of have looked past in our analysis. We'll always focus on the blue wall states, obviously so important, but signs that Trump might maybe outperforming in ways that we hadn't
Well, we'll
expected.
see. I mean, with
Bubbling up
Trump
in
being at
places like New
205,
Mexico, where it's only 23% of the vote,
her
and
at
mind you, tons of
117,
votes
I mean, things
outstanding. But he looks like he's
things could change for
outperforming there.
him.
He's up now 6 points in with that small turnout. Again, the New York Times
So we'll
gives
see,
him a
guys.
79%
But like I
chance
said,
of winning this election at this
we're only
point.
doing
Leaning
this
North Carolina,
to
leaning
stage 71.
Republican in
And then
Georgia.
I'm just
If
going to
those
go
trends
from
continue,
stage
it's
71
all those three states where it's
on
neck and neck. Right now,
later
it's neck and neck in
with
Wisconsin,
a real
Michigan, and
video
Pennsylvania. So I hope
you
they can
guys,
model themselves in the
alright?
future on what Florida
Because
has
I
done
think you
so
guys
brilliantly with Ron DeSantis.
You
96%
see
of
that
the
my
vote in,
lives right now
and
for
it's
model
handled
building. I
beautifully
don't
with
think they're
absentee
moving
mail-in
so.
vote. I mean, they just seem to do
My
it in Florida.
personal
Why
view.
can't we do it in
But
these other states?
I'll
I
read
mean,
your
it's
comments
crazy. I
later
mean,
on.
most of us grew up with, you
And let
voted
you
in the
know.
morning.
Same day.
Parents voted in the way, and then you went home and got the answer that night. We've
All
gone
of
from
us.
96 million voters when
I
Fox
mean,
News
I
started.
wish things were like I was when I was a
160
kid.
probably million
Because
tonight, somewhere in that
when we
neighborhood.
were a
All of
kid,
them watch
you
Frank's
know,
interview
you
with Kamala.
come home, your family and everybody
Absolutely.
sat around the TV.
So what is it,
After the
how
polls
much has really
drop,
changed, I guess, is
and
what I'm
we,
getting at here, Sean,
you
because
know,
we have
watch
this
and
enormous
see how
early
the
voter
outcome
ID.
came.
It's
And then
so
we'd have a
interesting you ask
projected
that question
winner
because
by,
everything's kind of
at least
flipped.
by 11 o'clock.
Republicans went in today with
But
a lead that had
years
never
have
happened
come
before,
by,
and it put the Democrats in a position
it's kind of come the
mathematically
other way.
where they
So
have to accomplish something they
that's
never
okay.
accomplished
We'll
before,
just be
and that
listening
is
for
to
you.
get same-day voters.
But all right,
numbers
listen up
that
now. We
they've
are almost
never
done
gotten
with this
before.
hood.
And this is where
Trump
we
is
now
still
find it. If I am
205.
correct in my belief and my sources are right, and North Carolina,
Harris
I'm
is still
almost
behind.
100%
If I was in the
certain
Harris
Donald Trump's.
campaign,
And Georgia,
I'd stay
believe,
motivated.
Harold, that I've been going back and forth on this, will
I
go
would
to
still
Donald
say
Trump.
that there's a possibility she may not
Arizona
win,
has been trending
or she
very
may have
strong towards
already
Donald Trump.
known.
I don't don't know how long
due to
it'll
her
take
own
them to count the
internal
votes out
polling.
there. That is frustrating to more than
Yes,
40.
their
Well, to their
internal
point,
polling
Maricopa said
is
because of the length of the
always
ballot, that they were
different
gonna, it
than
may
the
take
polling
days.
that we
Wow.
get
The
on
referendums,
TV.
Okay. There were 2 pages in Florida, and they called it within an hour and a half.
I
So
So
we'll
and that
see.
wasn't even an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
I'm
Alright,
just
we'll
saying what
see.
they said.
So, all right, well, if we want to play out a few scenarios, if that turns out to be right, or Harold's going to wear Sean Hannity's wrong T-shirt, if I'm right, and North Carolina and Georgia go to Donald Trump, and I am confident based on the information, Dave McCormick's numbers guy just wrote me. Dave McCormick running for Senate in Pennsylvania
Against Bob Casey.
against Bob Casey, the incumbent,
Okay,
who's been
so
running
that's the
ads
hood.
tying himself to Donald
That
Trump in
part's
Pennsylvania,
done.
which I
Now we
think is
gotta
very
do the
telling.
hood
He's confident Donald Trump is going to
connector
win
here.
Pennsylvania tonight.
And
That
that
and what
is
the
gonna
Trump
go
team has been telling me,
just
where they
kinda
were
like
up by
so.
1.1 million. We went over these numbers earlier.
This is
Back
pretty
4
wild.
years ago, they were only up 400,000
It's gonna
going
go like
into
that.
today's voting, day of voting.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, you
So
have
I
a
need
similar
3
situation.
EP screws.
A 40% difference.
We're all done with
They were
these
40%
screws
shortfall.
right now, so
So
we'll put them
I'm
in here.
looking at the big board and I'm watching the ever
And we
brilliant
got some
Bill Hemmer,
EP screws.
and
Like I
they
said,
needed
guys, this is
numbers
just
in
issue
Milwaukee
20, stage
that every
71.
source
It's
I
gonna
know
be
in
live
Wisconsin is
today.
telling me they did not
We
get
got a little bit
today.
of the politics
And
going
we're now
on in
in
the
a situation
background. If you
where
don't like
for
it,
Kamala
I
Harris to have any
apologize, but
opportunity to win, she's going to have to sweep
just
that
wanted
blue
to
wall.
put
Blue
this
wall
in
states.
here, let you
I don't
guys
see it. Do you see it?
see
I
some
don't
behind
see
the
it
scenes
either.
footage
And
of
if
how
you
I'm
look at
putting these things
Philadelphia, for
together.
instance, everybody was bragging this
Um,
morning about how well turnout was.
I don't
in
normally
Philly,
watch
but if
this
you
in the
look at Philly,
background.
South
I just do
Philly
this very
is
quietly.
Italian.
But I
That's
wanted to
Pat's Chinos. They love
kind of
Trump
just share
down
a
there.
moment
Big
while I'm
Eagles
sitting here
territory,
right
big
then.
Flyers. And then
Been
you go to
watching
the
this all
Northeast, that's
day.
Irish Catholic.
out
Maybe Sean
voting.
Hannity knows a few people up there. So they came out big for
bad.
Donald Trump, but that might have been an
We're just
explanation
working on the
for those
hood
numbers
right
to
now
pop.
for the
But if
ecto
you look
one.
at Pennsylvania broadly, they
putting
banked
the
so
engine
much in the
here,
early vote, which they've
and,
never done before.
Once we finish with
They
one
don't
side of
think
this
Kamala
hood,
has enough right now
supposedly
in Philly and
the next
Pittsburgh to
phase
just overcome Trump's red
would
county.
be to
So
work on the
Let
other
me just
side,
put the
but
caveat in there. Britt, we
we'll,
sat
we'll
on
see
an
as
election
time
desk in
goes on with
2016.
our
And
build. We
there
still
was
have
a betting
a couple
odds that
more
you were
steps
quoting
to
that had
go.
Hillary Clinton winning 90% chance that she was
Well,
going to
that's where
win.
the evening began.
And then it started going down, and we started doing the what if scenario, and her pathway started to narrow. It is flipped, to Sean's point, that the early vote gave Republicans an early boost,
Right.
and the question is what the day of vote's going to show.
Well, what's
Is her path narrowing as we get more
well,
into the
I
night?
think she started out with a narrower path, and we could figure out more ways that Trump could win. She had a narrower path, and the betting odds, by the way, are now up to 83% for Trump, and started at 58%. It's climbed all through the evening to 69.
I think you should have a green eye shot.
Anyway, and there are other models are now predicting them well in excess
Stock
of
market futures are also trading higher
Right.
as well.
I did think, just to go back to this Milwaukee point that we were talking about during the break, I mean, they are rerunning 30,000 absentee votes in Milwaukee tonight.
Right.
Because they couldn't, there was a problem with the processing. 31,000 absentee ballots after the election observer brought to the officials' attention that doors covering on and off switches on the devices, I guess, some of them weren't
Okay.
tallying and they were worried
So that
about it.
hard part's
So
done.
just for
Now I
integrity
gotta turn
purposes, they're rerunning all those
this
stuff. So we
over
might not
again.
hear the
We gotta
full
bring
and
back
final
the
counting
old
from
piece.
Milwaukee
I don't even
until
think
tomorrow.
AP vote
I
has
prepped
Trump
for
winning
that.
23% of black men.
I prepped for that. Hold on now. Where-
Next one, I'm sorry to hear what you said.
Staggering.
Where's that?
from?
AP vote kit.
Oh
And
wait,
that
I
is
gotta
gonna be
catch
some
up here on my
for the mainstream media,
projected
who's
map
just destroyed
for my
Donald
buddies
Trump
and
as a
stuff.
racist for all these years, and if you
We're all
double the support
working
with
and
black
stuff.
people,
So
and then you go up double digits with your
Yeah,
support with
okay.
Hispanics at the same
I
time,
usually just
and
send
then
them
run up the
little
numbers with
updates.
Jewish
So I'm just gonna
Americans here in the
update my
Northeast,
map.
that's a complete
The Electoral
rejection of
College.
everything that they've been telling us about Donald Trump, and that would explain why he's very competitive in the
Big
popular.
night.
And the
I
news
like
cycle for
to.
how
I
long
like
went on about
politics
the
a lot.
Seltzer poll in
So
Iowa. Trump
in the
looks like he's going to win
process
Iowa
of
by 8 to
liking
10 percentage points. But Seltzer.
politics, it
I
kind
mean,
of
who
comes
put
with
the
it.
result? But it was like he was going to lose Iowa.
That,
I mean,
you
Tricia,
know,
let's
I
go
kind
back
of
to
do all this
Pennsylvania
stuff.
really quick. I know you're in Wisconsin, but
I
let's
don't
go to
normally
Pennsylvania.
fill out a map like this because
I'm
I
gonna come back to
usually
this.
following this by
What's
myself.
happening in Wisconsin, okay?
As
So
you
go
guys
ahead,
know,
Brett,
New
with your
Hampshire went
question.
blue
Pennsylvania
yet
County,
again
this is
for
Scranton
another
County. You
election
got it. Let me come
cycle.
back to current day, right?
So,
2024, isn't it, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do believe.
looks like
Okay.
I'm gonna have
So,
to
okay.
add
So this is
New
Lackawanna,
Hampshire
this is
there,
Scranton. Okay,
and
so she's
then
got an edge. Go
for
ahead. She's
Word
got an edge
to
of
the
51%.
2020 vote
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
for
8,
that.
9,
This,
10,
okay,
11,
I'm gonna
12.
do something here. You're gonna see a slide come out, all right? So you guys gotta remember these numbers, all right? Versus 2020.
So 19,
Here is Biden's
20,
number.
21.
So she's about,
She's got 1, 2,
you do the math,
3,
2.5
4, 5,
points
6, 7, 8.
below what Biden did, but she's winning the county
9,
too, and that's Scranton. Can I just show you guys something that I think we need to pay attention to? This is
Hold on, I
Wisconsin.
think I missed
All
something
right, so
here.
you got your Fox Insights going here, okay? We talked about Dane, we
We
talked
got
about
1,
Milwaukee.
2,
What
3,
about Green
4,
Bay? That's Brown
5,
County, all right?
6,
Right now, with
7,
46% of the vote
8,
reported
9,
in Brown County, which is Green
10.
Bay, Trump's up 3.6 points at this
She
time of
hasn't
night,
moved.
okay? Take this off.
I thought she
We'll
did.
move
I thought
down
she
here
got
to
something. But all right.
Allegheny.
Anyway, we're
All
moving
right,
back,
he's up
guys. We're moving
1.8
back.
points
Back
higher
on
than he
task here.
was
All right.
4
So
years ago.
I'm going to
Take that
put
off.
this
This is
piece
Winnebago, right?
onto our
Trump
hood.
is up
I've already
1.3
gotten
points at this point in the
everything
vote,
else, so it looks like a real
higher
hood
than
right
he
now.
was 4 years ago.
So I'm going to
And,
put this
you know,
down.
when you're
This is going to fit
analyzing the
right
state board
here.
this election, those are
Okay.
three of the
And it
counties you're
gets
looking at where
screwed
he's trying
in
to like drive the numbers up, and
with
he's able
some
to do
EP
that. And
screws,
so
which
this is
I
where we
have
sit.
right here.
You know, half a point.
So there's 3 of
And
those.
not for nothing, guys, but sorry. Come on back here. Not for nothing. But Robert Kennedy has racked up 8,000 votes in Wisconsin. And 2020 in Wisconsin.
He racked up 8,000 there, and he
Yeah, I
was
gotcha.
saying, "Don't vote." Those people are
20,682.
probably early voters.
Maybe it matters, guys. Or maybe it doesn't. But it's
Probably
just
early
something to point
voters.
out right now. When we come back, I'll take you to Michigan.
You
Some
can't-
things
unless-
happen there as well. Fast
Unless there's a rule in that state that they can
That's a
come
thing,
back,
yeah.
but
The 31,000 votes you talked about, Laura, you think they're going to count in the morning, and that's in Milwaukee, right?
They're reprocessing them. They've begun to reprocess them, but there's no indication as to when that's going to finish.
because they had problems with the machine.
There was a problem with this on-off switching device on the machine or something. It's hard to understand
Well,
what it
can I ask you a question? You just gave me the latest numbers. I've been looking at the betting odds numbers that Brett was talking about. They have moved massively now
90%.
to Donald Trump. New York Times has it massively to Donald Trump.
71%.
Well, point that
The
Jesse, yeah,
No,
the
the
needle, right?
Yeah.
So we're really sitting here, and I think we got to take pause. There is a very strong possibility he will be elected the 47th president of the United States if these numbers, if these predictions end up being true. I don't want to get over our skis. We want to be careful. We want to be prudent. We're all looking at our sources. I'm listening very closely to everything Harold has to say and what he's offering. But if that is true, after all that they have thrown at this man, after all
I
that
don't
they have
know,
done
man.
to
This-
this man, and to with
We'll
all
see
the
what
media
happens.
that wouldn't even vet her and her radical positions,
We
that
got
the
we
only
got the hood.
person in the media
I think it
that
looks pretty
challenged
decent,
her in
guys.
any reasonably tough way
Unlike
is
my
sitting right here at
usual
this table.
videos,
and
I
that
don't
was
think
you,
this
Brett.
actually came out
And
as
to
clear
think
as I
she
would
never
like it.
had to answer why she doesn't
But
think we
this
should
is
say
okay.
radical Islamic terrorism,
I've gotten
why she
that
wasn't
done.
asked
Now I'm
about
going to do one more step,
supporting a bail fund
and
in
that will bring
574
our
riots in the summer of
adventure
2024,
here to a
or
close.
co-sponsoring the Green New Deal, or saying no private health insurance, Medicare for all, or sex change operations for, illegal immigrants. What will this say, Brett, about legacy media in America? It's dead.
Well, it's the decline of its influence has been evident for years. This is
Right.
proof of it. And in some respects, I think that the behavior of the legacy media backfired against the candidate they were supporting
Okay,
because
got
it was
that.
so over the top.
Alright,
Same
that
with the
looks good.
prosecutions. Same thing happened.
RM
It all
contributed
screws.
to
No, I
We
did.
have a
Yeah, I
couple
agree
of
with you.
them.
What do you got, Bill?
That's something.
And then
I just punching up through Iowa.
seal up.
Everybody was talking about the poll.
Yeah,
The more
right.
register, I mean, the chip, right?
Alright.
All of them will not be
Yeah.
named.
That's correct.
Going a little
Until we
too
get a little
long.
of the backsheesh, right?
But that's
40%
okay.
you gotta
Now you guys
support
know
Trump.
the
Okay, so
hassle that we
I
have.
don't know what they were seeing in the poll.
The
I mean,
here.
they're obviously seeing
And the
something out
length
there
of
in
time that
Iowa.
it takes to
But
put
this
this
is
all together.
this is Trump pulling away.
But I'm gonna work on my last thing.
This
here.
is
Let me
And-
bounce around.
Yeah, all good. This is Ohio, guys. Okay,
All right.
8 points in 2016. 8 points in 2020. 80% of the estimated vote is in. He's up more than 12 points in the Buckeye State.
Dana, even if we don't, we're not there yet. We're not calling these states. We're going to wait and see how this raw vote total goes. But you'd rather be him. The path is getting clearer for him right now. To Sean's point, even that he's here at this moment, from January 7th, 2021 until now, is probably the biggest political phoenix from the ashes that we have ever seen in the history of politics.
In the days after January 6th, I remember sitting, I think, with you, Brett, and I said, this guy, he's radioactive. Republicans have turned against him. They want rid of him. They want him. He's an obstacle. He's a problem. And I thought, no, I didn't think a political comeback by him was possible.
I would say.
And yet here we are. He's the toughest son of a gun I've ever seen.
All right,
Ever.
so
With
that
all he said
pretty
from
much
that
seals up
I mean, I'd be in an insane
this
asylum.
side. I think it looks pretty good.
There's an interesting rhetorical
I
trick you
think
can always play
came
with
out
these
really
things.
good.
When
I mean,
Sean
you probably
says,
can't see
think
it
of
at
all the
home,
things
but
that they have done to
you know,
him. And in
that's
spite of
it,
that,
guys, for stage
he
71.
puts together
Because
this
this
probably the most
video and
racially
this,
diverse political
this,
coalition we've seen
this
in
thing took
generations.
an hour. I
But you
mean,
can also
that's
say
a lot
it is
longer than
because
I
of what they
thought.
did to him.
But
And it
we're
turned
gonna
out
move
it's not
on,
just
and
in
I'm gonna
spite of it. Like,
bring
yes,
out a
he's a tough guy.
video
He's
later
energetic,
tonight,
but it could be
He
because
contributed.
of
which will be
Yeah,
like a
that's-
continuation
well,
of this,
I
but
think we
you'll
should
have a lot more
underestimate
pauses.
the
You won't
importance of
have to hear all
policy
this
in all of this.
political
Absolutely.
rhetoric.
The Trump agenda in 2019 delivered some of the
However,
most stunning economic
we got
gains
some more
to
stuff. We
blue-collar
gotta make
workers, the
another
people that we
hinge
came
to the
from,
other side.
that we had
Good.
seen in 25
We still
years,
have
maybe
the roof to
longer.
work
So
on
from
in
the
the
border
car.
to the economy to
So
foreign
I
policy
just
and
want to say thank you
peace,
once again
that
for
resonated with young
coming by
people, with
and joining
men,
us on our
with this
first ever
new
live.
demographic coalition.
I can pretty
And
much
I think
tell that
it's
some
not
of you
just the
guys are gonna
greatest
put
political
something in the
comeback of all
comments
time.
of like,
If these trends
"Hey
continue,
man,
maybe
this
if
live totally
it will be the
bombed.
greatest comeback, I
This was not
believe,
cool.
in
I don't
history,
like
because this
this."
man was counted out
Maybe
and
if you
called
made it a
every
little bit
name in the
more
book. They
interesting.
want to put him in jail tonight.
No
If they could, they would
politics
put him in
in
jail.
a
And
live
I hate
feed,
to
which
get ahead of
I
ourselves,
was
but if he
hesitant to
does
do
win and the
from the
numbers
rip,
hold up
but
and the popular
it seemed
vote
like a
is
little
what it
risk
is,
to
he
kind
would
of
have a
take because
mandate. He would have
I needed
a
to get this
diverse
going,
winning coalition
and
that he would then be able to
I have a
govern
busy
with.
work
House, you gotta
schedule,
have the House and the
but I
Senate.
also
He would probably have the
have a
Senate,
love
maybe he doesn't
for
have the House, but
politics,
that mandate would have to be
considering I'm from
respected.
New
So it would
Hampshire.
be up to Democrats
If you
and the
haven't
media
noticed,
to
there's a
determine how's
nice little
the
logo there of
posture
the
going to be
Patriots.
towards a
However,
seemingly very popular president
politics is kind of like
who's
one
had the
of
greatest
my
upset
favorite
victory
things.
followed by the most
However, I
controversial
do want to
election
say to
followed by
everybody
the
who
greatest
came
comeback
in and
victory
looked
we've
at our
ever seen.
live,
So
or
we
if you're
shall
watching
see.
this live after we posted it, it's okay. It's okay. No hard feelings. But I do want to say once again, thank you for coming aboard and watching us. I'm gonna leave from this area here. Let you guys take a little gander here. But I'm kind of just here doing this. I like politics, of course. Whoever wins the election tonight, let's just say that it's been a fair and arduous campaign for both candidates. But I'm looking at these numbers. I'm looking at some insider polling numbers. I've been looking at some insider tracking, and I'm trying to get ahead of the media. Both Democratic media and Republican media. But I do want to say at least thanks for watching us for this live to building stage 71 of our issue here, issue 20. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm a big fan of politics. But we're going to make some more of this video here. We're going to make a big video on this, and you guys can enjoy it. I don't want to keep you on here too much longer, but we do want to say thank you. And from my little shop here, to you guys, thanks again for stopping by. Y'all keep on modeling out there, and we hope to see you on the next video. We're gonna post this live so that way you have the first half of issue 20. But issue 20 is gonna come out with stages 70, 72, 73, and 74. So once again, thank you, and we got some more treats for you. But I'm gonna go back to doing some politics and checking out some outcomes.
I can't change anything. I can't change the outcomes. But I like to watch this. It's kind of like a little football game / baseball game. So once again, thank you for watching me for stage 71 of issue 20. Hope to see you on the next video I post, which will have stages 72, 73, and 74. There'll be no politics in the background. It'll be totally different. Other than that, thank you very much, guys. Have a safe night, and we hope to see you out there on the next video. And once again, like I always like to tell you guys, I gotta go. You guys keep on modeling out there. We'll give you some more stuff here on our channel of the Thompson Model Shop. Alright, guys, this is